welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for mid-October to the end of the month. So let's get started and see what messages we have for Virgo as they make their way through the rest of October. Okay, Virgo, let's see what's going on here. Great big love. Awakening Genius, and the Royal You. All right. These are very, very interesting messages, Virgo. I feel like this is going to be a love reading for you, Virgo. This is very interesting. Great big love is definitely a romantic love. This is a romantic love that heals. This is the idea here that, you know, love without conditions is very, very healing. And it heals all wounds, and it sustains when it has, like when it's real love without conditions, not love in the sense of I love you but, I love you if, I love you when, I love you because. No, just I love you. And near, far, no conditions. It's very interesting, really points to a profound and harmonious connection in love. That's a beautiful message for you that really goes along with the other two here. The Royal You is one where we're looking at the idea of your own sovereignty and your self-responsibility, and the idea that, you know, it's up to you whether or not you are in alignment or out of alignment with your truth. This is the idea that you rule yourself. You are the royal you. You know what I mean? In the sense that you are the ruler of your mind. And right now, when this card comes up, it's really a time where you're being invited to consider, you know, what are your values? What is the intention that you have for your life? You know, what is the true mark that you wish to leave in terms of who you are, Virgo? It's very interesting, and I feel like it is going to be tied to a relationship that is built upon the idea of no more conditions. And so it's like this love could be one that allows you to really awaken your own sense of, you know, your own spirit, in a sense. When I see this Awakening Genius card with it, it's really a time here where it's like we all have our own inner genius or inner guidance system, and it's up to us to sort of awaken it, you know what I mean, and to tap into it. And so when I see these three messages for you, Virgo, I think that unconditional love, healing love. So this also makes me think of forgiveness and compassion and romantic love. You know, so take it as it resonates. And then this Royal You is really about stepping into yourself and really, really believing that you're the narrator here, that you're the director of your life. And so tapping into those things that inspire you innately is going to really serve you in October. And so it seems to me like it's time to awaken that part of yourself that gets the inspiration downloads, the part of yourself that is, it's like a unique little genius inside you that inspires you, and to use that little genius to guide you and to be the Royal You. I love that. It's almost like the Emperor energy, where it's like you're the leader here, and that love will heal all wounds. So I wonder how this is all going to tie in for you this month, Virgo. It's a very beautiful set of cards there for you. Okay, let's clarify that to see what will support Virgo as they move through the rest of the month with these things in mind. You know, unconditional healing love, awakening the inspirative, having a hard time getting my words out. the part of you that inspires creation and action, and then the part of you that realizes that, you know what, it's on me. I'm the director. You know, I feel like seeing the combination of these cards is making me like think about the idea that we have to turn the autopilot off. We have to turn the autopilot off so that we're in control. Not, you know, autopilot is formed through past patterns. So if we leave the autopilot function on in our minds, we're basically saying the past predicts the future. So go ahead, autopilot, and use my past to make my reactions and my sort of responses in the future. And if we're not aware of that, it can be, you know, it can be an interesting sort of like, how did I get here moment, you know? And so it's interesting. We see, I love that we have both of these cards here. You have stillness and action. Okay, now what does that say to me? That says to me that you need some stillness within the self first. You know, you need to be certain of this royal you driving. You need to know this awakened genius first. And how do we meet the awakened genius? Well, we meet them through stillness. We have to be still first. That stillness card really makes me think of, it's time for Virgo to be mindful of their everything. Turn the autopilot off. Become more engaged in life so that you're not allowing your past unhealed wounds to trigger you. And maybe that's why you received great big love, in the sense that love does heal wounds. And so if you're not approaching things with love, you could be sitting in a place of, you know, fear, resentment, again, things from the past, right? Like if you have an open slate viewpoint of the future and you look at the future and embrace the unknown, it's, you know, if you're embracing the unknown, you're not afraid of it. And so it's very interesting. Okay, so stillness. Getting some time to reflect and to be still in order to take action. In order to take action. I feel like the stillness is going to be key, and that will be where you find that inspiration to act. Does that make sense? It's an inspired action coming in from your intuition, right? That is essentially this awakened genius. It's your intuition. It's your spirit guide. It's your guide. It's what guides you through. Does that make sense? Now, these other two that came out are power and success. So I feel like this is interesting because once you tap into your awakened genius and the idea that you are the sovereign of your own life, that will reveal to you how much power you have over your life. And then I feel that's where you're going to find a lot of success moving forward. And it could be success in the realm. This is going to be different for everyone because we all have a different soul guide. We all have a different spirit guiding us, right? We are all unique expressions, right? Our spirits are all unique expressions. And so whatever your spirit inspires you to do, you will be successful at it once you approach it with love and realize that this isn't happening to you, but you are the sovereign of your life here. It's the royal you. I love that. Love these messages for you, Virgo. It really makes me feel like accountability. And this really feels like the Emperor card to me in the way that it's speaking to you're responsible here. And with responsibility, you know, there is power there. When we own our own responsibility, we step into our personal power, not power over others, not power in a way that is a misuse of power, but personal power. That once you tap in to your intuition, I feel like you're going to step into your personal power, and that's going to take some stillness initially, but then there will be a period of action which will lead to success. Wow, Virgo, I wonder what you're up to this month. I think it will be different for the Virgos watching because, again, everyone is being guided towards their own path. Okay, let's jump into the tarot cards here and see the rest of the story for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, Virgo. All right. Authenticity. Authenticity and deciding on the idea between diplomacy and just being yourself, just saying the truth, or being diplomatic, or maybe a slight amount of deception in the sense of just taking off, like almost like I'm just gonna get out of here vibe, because I feel like maybe Virgo has a scenario, or maybe they're in a position right now where as they awaken this part of themselves, they are deciding how much of this to reveal, okay? And the idea here is strategy. The King of Swords is here as well, in reverse. Both cards are in reverse. So that says to me that you're uncertain about strategy and authenticity. These are two opposing forces that you're not sure about. You want to be very open, right? But at the same time, you're like, is that strategic? Like, is that smart? Is it smart to be really open about what's awakening here? You're not sure. You're not sure. You're feeling like it is time to sort of step into your personal power, but how much of that do you need to share with others? Is it sort of a question that you're asking yourself. Can you keep this to yourself and then just show the results? Kind of reminds me of that, that quote that you see that says, don't tell people your plans, just sort of show them by doing them. I'm saying that very badly, but that quote, I can't remember who said that, but it's the idea that you don't need to talk about your plans to others, just show them, like do it, follow through, take action, step into your personal power. And I think right now you're trying to understand how to shift mentally to adapt to that idea where you don't need to sort of run things by anybody. You can just sort of go. And I think top of mind for you right now is definitely creation. Definitely, you've got this feminine energy here with the Empress. You are creating something through your divine feminine energy where it's very much an idea that you're scattering seeds, right? And where they grow, they grow. It's interesting. It's interesting. You're taking the initiative here and sort of allowing something to be cultivated. What are you cultivating, Virgo? Again, with this higher or this awakened genius, it's like, what are you and your intuition cultivating? What are you planting seeds for? What are you going to create? That is what's on the top of your mind. And again, what's driving the reading is this idea that you're wondering, well, what are other people going to think of this? Six of Wands in reverse. What is the public? Is the public going to be okay with this? Or am I going to lose my following? And, what is the public perception going to be? It's very interesting. I think that as a motivation is maybe why we're seeing the idea here of the royal you, where it's like, is it about your personal journey or is it about external validation, right? Like the Six of Wands to me is always a card that brings up the sort of the trigger of, are you doing this because you want the public to give you rewards and accolades? Are you doing this for external validation, or are you doing this because it's really speaking to you? And I think that could be part of it here, Virgo. That could be part of it, is questioning the reason behind why. Why are you interested in this path in the first place? And that will be received through stillness and through this healing power of the great big love. And the idea that love does heal wounds. And so if there is a wound that needs to be validated externally in order for you to feel whole. Perhaps that is a wound that needs healing. Maybe that's an old storyline that no longer is relevant and that you don't need external validation, but somehow you're still seeking it, or it's on your mind, Yeah, in the past, it seemed like it was difficult for you to be vulnerable and to make choices from a vulnerable standpoint, the Lovers. That's another 6 here. You've got 2 6s. So I feel like you are on the path of evolution here, Virgo. But, in the past, it was hard for you to be vulnerable and to make choices from a vulnerable place. Very difficult. And I feel like in the future, yes, more swords. It's a perspective shift. You're going to feel like it's time to change your mind about something. Your perspective is going to change. There may be even a little mental conflict here, because I feel like, there may be a choice that lies ahead for you that is going to be based on, how authentic to be, how much of this to communicate to people, and this need for external validation, I feel like, is going to get addressed and maybe resolved because of that great big love card. Yeah, in the future, upcoming future energy, you are going to have to face a truth here before you move forward. And it's interesting. I feel like this truth that you're going to face is going to be an emotional one. It's going to sort of make you feel like, again, the past and the future are at odds here. See, right now you're sad about these cups that have spilled, but they no longer serve you. They're from the past. See, there's the tower in the very far distance there. And the truth of the matter is these cups don't serve you, but you are focused on them with your head down, and you don't see these 2 cups that the universe is offering you to start your new path. These are ready to go, empty, fresh chalices that are ready to take you into the future. So I feel like you have to face and mourn and love, great big love. You have to love these wounds and heal them so that you can move forward, right? Now, the inner dialogue for you right now is that you're ready to move forward, but again, swords, mentally, you're not sure how to get up from this. Some cycle has ended for you, and it ended in a way where you got, the truth hits you right in the back because you were running from it, right? When we're running from something and we don't face it, that's how it gets us in the back. Now, this card's in reverse, which really suggests to me that you are ready to get up. When this card is upright, usually the message is you're done. You don't want to get up. You can't imagine moving forward. But I feel like your inner dialogue, even though you've been wounded, you are ready to get up. But I feel like it's the direction that's causing you some concern. You're not sure where to go with this newfound path that you're stepping into from a place of wounded, right? Wounded. I feel like Virgo is wounded here. Yeah, the outer manifestation of you is this idea that you're ready to start something new and to develop it through time and stillness before taking action. But that action will be taken. You are manifesting a new plan here. You are going to lead the charge here. You and the sovereign you here and this Empress that we saw, you are cultivating a path forward based on your intuition that you're getting from your spirit guides, from your soul tribe. You are getting some inspiration through your intuition that is going to take you forward, Virgo. And I just feel like it's going to involve a mental shift. It's going to involve a mental shift. Yeah. And it's going to be important not to resist everything that sort of happens outside of your control. And so, the world or the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is really suggesting that fortune's on its way. This is going to be a prosperous situation. This is good news. But are you resisting things because you're trying to control the outcomes? Or maybe you're not giving it love and you're still holding on to a bit of fear. You're resisting action. You haven't gone into stillness yet. There is success on the table here, and the Wheel of Fortune is bringing that to you, but it's important that you not resist it. You know, when the Wheel of Fortune comes to give us things, even if it takes things away, or if it shifts, it involves you needing to shift mentally, then shift. This is going to be a good outcome for you, Virgo. It's going to be a very good outcome for you. Success and understanding yourself and healing old wounds. Wow, I'm going to leave it at that for you, Virgo. If this has resonated and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, watching, and subscribing. And we will see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a wonderful month.